So this is a twins of friend who traveled to India, but one of them converted to vegan.
All right.
Sort of. Hey there, this is Fufsky coming to you from Flushing, New York.
Oh, this is James here.
So yeah, again, we're at Flushing, which is a Chinatown. This is the new Chinatown, and I think it has grown to surpass the older Chinatown in terms of size. So there's a lot of good food here. There's a lot of Chinese food. You guys request that you want to see some food of the NYCs. There you have it. So now we're at Chinatown. So of course we're going to eat, you guessed it, Indian food. Well, and today I'll be showing you a few of those. And one of those is actually a temple deep inside the Flushing region. You have to go there. It's a huge temple, and you have to go downstairs to the canteen where they have this very traditional South Indian dosa that we're going to try. Let's get to it. So before we head to the Indian temple, there's something else I want to try first. This is the place. As you can see, the sign here says Flavors of India, but it actually changed the name. I used to remember this to be a different place. I think it's called Hyderabadi Biryani and Chaat. And I went in and asked, and they said it's the same chef, same staff. They basically just took over and they changed the name. And I saw their menu. They still have the thing I wanted, although less in varieties. But still, I'll give it a try. I'm already here, so let's go. So here we have our chaat platter. I ordered 3 chaat. This place used to have a lot more chop up because they probably due to the pandemic or other reasons, they have a reduced menu. So now there isn't a lot of varieties in terms of chaat, but these are the one I think it's good to represent it. So we have 3 chaats here: papdi chaats, samosa chaat, dahi puri chaat. So chaat is basically, you can think of it as an Indian carb salad that has a base made with chickpea. Then you layer it with different carbs. For example, this one is papdi, which is a biscuit looking like thing, right? And samosa and puri. Puri is basically unleavened bread that's made into a sack. Then they have sev on top, which is a fried lentil noodle. So anyways, this is the papdi chaat. I'm gonna try it first. As you can see, you have, this is papdi, that little fried pieces. And this is sev.
I mean, it kind of almost reminds me of like a Mexican dish too. I mean, visually, I mean, that kind of looks like cheese. It's not cheese, but
It's yogurt.
Really good,
Yeah. There's different flavors in there, right? I mean, obviously this version I had, it's a bit more tuned down than the one I had back then. In terms of the texture, I really enjoyed the texture.
Oh yeah, yeah. The texture elements are really good. It's nothing bold or dramatic though, but it is pleasant.
Yeah. So this is our second chaat. This is dahi puri. Right? Dahi is yogurt. Puri is this thing. This sack is puri. It's basically unleavened bread that has yogurt in it and some crispy bits out there. This is definitely better than that because you got so much content in the sack, the yogurts and everything. You have the refreshness, you have the sweetness, a little bit of creaminess, and exploded. That's much better.
Yeah, all the flavor is really nice and concentrated because it is in all that one little bite.
This is not the most drastic bite I had. Remember the one in Ada?
Oh yeah.
I can't even control it.
Flavor
The juice flowed out of my mouth,
Yeah,
remember? So lastly, we have samosa chaat. So basically chaat, but with samosa under it. Okay. Big piece of samosa like out there. So basically it's already kind of like mashed down. This is a bit more savory, a bit more salty. Flavor is a bit more concentrated as you're actually having a potato samosa with masala in it. Oh, I taste clove, cardamom. They actually had the whole spice in there as well. But at the same time, you have the yogurt to give it a bit of sweetness and sourness. You want like a bite that's composed.
Yeah, I think the flavor is the most complex in this one. And I also think like this one slightly has a bit of heat to it. Just slight though, but it's a nice touch.
This is the one I remember back then. This is a good one. Compared to my visits back then, I think the version has been somehow tuned down. It's not as potent or spicy, but this one beats that standard. This is as potent as the one I had back then.
I later talked with the staff of this restaurant and he told me it's not the same chef. So it is a completely different restaurant that just happened to be in the same location. No wonder why the chaat they served was not exactly as what I remembered. With mixed feelings, that draws the end of my craving at this particular spot. At least I took it off the box.
So we just had the chaat. Now it's time to move on to the next place.
Now, moving on to the temple.
So here we have arrived at the temple canteen. It's surprising to see an Indian temple deep inside Flushing, right? Because this is like a predominantly Chinese neighborhood, but there is an Indian temple, which is interesting. And also they have a canteen that is on the lower floor. That's where we're going to have the food. They have some very good Southern Indian food. So yeah, let's go check it out. Oh, entrance to the temple. The Hindu Temple Society of North America. There you have that. Breaking coconuts is strictly prohibited. Like, what? I mean, why would someone break coconut here? Well, it looks like they're really insisting on not breaking coconut here. I mean, I don't know what kind of religious significance it has. So the temple canteen is that way. I'm gonna follow the sign. This really looks like India. I'm somewhere in India. All right, so finally here we have our food. We order quite some for 5 people and there is a lot indeed. So we start with these two. This is masala vada. This is bisi berabat. Masala vada, basically this is a lentil and onion fried with coconut chutney, coconut, coriander, and some mustard seeds as well. Shall we? Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm still processing it.
Yeah. Crunchy, but inside there's some flavors I can't put my finger on.
Exactly, that's why
Yeah.
I'm processing it. It definitely got a little bit of earthiness from the chickpea, a bit of spiciness, like a bit of spice.
Small spice, yeah.
And I like the texture. It's quite crunchy on the outside. You have a little bit of bits as well. And the inside's on the softer side. This is the chutney, coconut chutney with coriander and mustard seeds. All right, let's try with the chutney.
Yep.
Cilantro, very potent. A hint of coconut.
Yeah. There's almost a little more spice to it.
Not too much of a spice, but there is a bit.
Subtle.
Yeah, but still, when I think of coconut, I think something that's more on the sweeter and refreshing side. But this one has a bit of kick.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, well, I definitely think this is necessary to add it because it is a little dry, but having that just makes it go down so much easier.
And also we have the mango lassi to pair with.
Oh, yeah.
We got the mango lassi. I love mango lassi. It's like very sweet, creamy-ish smoothie drink of Indian version. You can think of that. Cheers.
Cheers. Smooth, refreshing.
Exactly, smooth, refreshing. Has some thickness to it.
This is something you want to have when you eat spicy.
Yeah. The creaminess of it definitely helps you smooth that.
Yeah, and great flavor.
Next up, we have this bisi berabat. Basically, this is rice and lentil cooked in a vegetable stew with medium spice, mustard seeds. That fragrance, like just smell from here. There's like that spice, right?
Spice, yeah.
It's encroaching, yeah. All right. Oh, that spice builds.
Yeah.
There is a good amount of spice in there. Some potato, they give it this mushy texture, and some mustard seeds inside as well. Indian risotto,
I see that.
right?
I can see that.
Okay, so and we have these two. I think this is similar to what we have in the chaat. I'm gonna make a chaat out of this. Slightly salty, savory, very crispy.
It's a good snack.
Yeah. So we have this yogurt with, is that cucumber? I don't know, like vegetable with yogurt. Cucumber. Yogurt with cucumber is a classic combination. You see this in like many different cuisine. Tzatziki is Greece, jajik is in Iran. So they have different names. But this one, the yogurt is a bit more like watery. It's not as thick.
Yeah.
But I can see this will help to smooth the spice.
Yep.
Moving on, we have 2 rice items. This is tamarind rice. This is yogurt rice. Interesting, right? I have never heard of a yogurt rice. Anyway, let's dig in this one first. This is tamarind rice. A bit similar to the basi berabat we have
Yeah, that's true.
in terms of flavor,
Yeah.
but this is like a drier rice.
Yeah.
You also get different textures as well, some lentils and everything, so the spice flavor in there. In terms of tamarind, maybe there's a bit, but it's not very.
Yeah, it's not the most powerful.
Let's try this yogurt rice here. Now you can taste yogurt.
Yeah. Now
It
I
is,
get it.
it is indeed yogurt rice,
Yeah.
which is funny. It's not like you're eating yogurt. You have that scent, but it's very mild,
Yeah.
but you can definitely taste it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more like a wave. You also have corianders and some mustard seeds as well.
Yeah.
nice sourness from the yogurt. It's pretty smooth. This is quite good. The mustard seeds, it serves as a spice.
It's interesting.
It's interesting, definitely. All right, moving on. This is the signature here, paper dosa. Look at how huge this thing is. This thing is literally bigger than my face. Well, I mean, my face is pretty small, so there's gonna be a lot of things that's bigger than my face, but still, this is pretty big.
Pretty damn big.
Yep. And you eat it with your hands, but preferably not left hand because, you know, right? But if you only eat with your right hand, there's a technique only the Indian know, which is like you can pinch this thing with one hand. I'll attempt that and I'll fail miserably, then I end up eating with both hands. I'll just let you know that, right? But still, I'm gonna attempt to try that. Something like this, you use 3 fingers and you pinch, well, I'm gonna fail, so I'm gonna use both hands. You see, I tried.
You got some of it off.
Yeah. All right, this is much more satisfying. All right, look at it. This is kind of like a flaky. Oh. And to go with this, you also have 2 of the same thing, samba and coconut chutney. So you're gonna just, I'm gonna dip that in. I'm gonna dip it in the chutney first. Cheers.
That's nice.
And this thing has a lot of flavor in here.
Yeah. And it almost doesn't even need the.
It doesn't even need this thing.
Yeah.
This thing is very flavorful on its own. I did not expect that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the spice and everything. Well, that's nice. You got a slight crisp. You got this spice seasoning in it. I don't know if they use ghee for this one, but you have a bit like buttery scent, do you think? Well, I like that. Oh, this is very good. Samba here. This is more like a spicy thing. I think a lot of people, their impression with Indian food is that it's like all kind of paste. That may be where that impression comes from, but this is like South Indian food, right? So, this is sambal sauce, basically like a stew, a little spicy, similar to the besi berabat in terms of flavor profile. I like to pair with the coconut chutney, but to be honest, this is good on its own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
The sambar is pretty thick too, because you got actual vegetables and stuff inside it.
Right. All right, so moving on, we have 2 more dosa. This is Pondicherry dosa, and this is Rava dosa. All right, so let's start with Pondicherry first. Pondicherry is a state or is a city in somewhere South India. This is the dosa from there, so let's try that. There is filling inside as well. Let me tear that apart. Ooh, look at that. Good amount of stuffing here.
Right.
We have this bondi, like this little cracker thing that we have.
We had earlier.
Onions and cilantros and everything. It's a bit tough to get everything together, but I'm trying my best already. Right? Ooh, okay, cool. And also we have chutneys and everything.
Yeah.
Sticking. Cheers. This one is softer, like a more fluffy
But then you got the crunchy texture.
content inside. They're both very flavorful,
Yeah, yeah.
but this is like softer, but the interior give you that crunch and everything else.
Yeah.
And of course you have the chutney. This is good.
Yeah, I
This is
like
good. I mean, one thing I learned about this type of food is that vegetarian food doesn't have to be plain, right? Vegetarian food, first, can be very tasty. Second, it doesn't have to be healthy as well. I mean, like French fries, it is vegan, right? You can have the best organic, non-GMO vegan French fries, but still, that is like on top of the junk food list. I mean, I guess what matters here is that you're having a good time eating them, right?
Yeah. Food's about enjoyment.
Yep. A little bit sambal, I guess. This can definitely help to soak some of that sauce here in the gravy.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, we have this rava dosa. It has onions and stuff. The batter is melted with these things together, and there's a lot of holes. It's very porous. Let's see, what is this about? You're getting a subtle difference for each one. It's not the same thing, it's just with different chutney. It actually tastes different. This one, you got more the onion taste.
Uh-huh.
This is like also on the soft one, similar to this.
Yeah.
I like the onion texture that's inside this batter. Okay, so moving on, after we have our dosa, we have some dessert here. So dessert time, we have 3 things here. I think this is called balusha. This is basically flour with sweet. Looks like a cookie. And we have these 2 that's made with chickpea and butter. One of them is almond butter, another one is ghee. So try this one first. Ooh, look at this, there's a lot. Look at that sugar.
Almost looks like a donut.
Yeah, it's kind of flaky and everything. It's not that sweet.
Yeah.
There's some sweetness. It's like sugary, floury cake type of thing, but that's not very sweet. It's an interesting texture.
It's not exactly what I was expecting looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was like pretty dense and everything.
Yeah.
It's quite flaky and it kind of disintegrates in your mouth into like tinier, flourish thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's try these. This is the stuff with, I think this is the chickpea cake with ghee. All right, cheers. Tastes exactly like a Chinese rido gao, but it went to India and come back and the color changed because there's too much sun there. It is good.
Yeah, yeah.
It is good. There's like a nice buttery flavor.
It's nice.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah.
This is much better.
It's a good treat.
Yep. So we have this one, which is the same dessert that's cake with made with chickpea, but this one uses almond butter. Cheers. Let's do that. They are different.
Yeah. Same texture though.
You have the same like buttery sweetness. They're quite similar.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they both take on the buttery property to it, but they're just a bit different. It's hard to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't eat them one by one, you probably can't even tell. So this is a twins of friend who traveled to India, but one of them converted to vegan.
All right.
So lastly, to finish with our amazing meal. Very sweet, syrupy.
Yeah.
I'll say because I already had these two, which are pretty sweet. So this one I can handle it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
sweet, syrupy thing. But if I just had this straight out of nothing, it's probably gonna be a bit too sweet for me.
Yeah, yeah.
But with those two, these are fine. Carb and sugar. One-way ticket to fat ass. 1 meal per day setting in this Indian temple canteen for South Indian food. It was a very nice experience, definitely a good exposure for someone who hasn't experienced a lot of it in South Indian food before.
Oh yeah.
So this is Fufsky. I make videos about food, travel, and culture. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this one, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Turn on the notification bell if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.